Oh, I didn't see you there. In 1903, George Orwell was born in Mahogany, India. During his childhood, he was given a scholarship to a prep school in England, but dropped out without a diploma or anything else to show for it, and later joined the Indian Imperial Police. Only to resign 5 years later to become a writer, adopting the pen name George Orwell in 1933. In the lead up to World War II, Orwell's political stance was heavily affected by his experiences during the Spanish Civil War, where he was shot in the throat by a Soviet sniper and saw how the Soviets treated people in their occupied land, an experience that kicked off his anti-Stalinist beliefs present in all of his future texts, especially Animal Farm. When World War II started in 1939, Orwell did attempt to join the military, but was turned down due to poor health, and instead joined the BBC in 1941. Orwell worked in the BBC to broadcast British propaganda across India, an experience that later showed up in his work such as 1984 in the form of the main character working for the government to manipulate information. At the end of the war in 1945, Animal Farm was published, an allegory on the communist revolution. Towards the end of the year in 1949, Orwell published his soon-to-be smash hit, 1984. On the 21st of January 1950, unfortunately George Orwell died of tuberculosis 6 months after the publication of 1984. Present in 1984 are governments known as Orwellian, which incorporate themes such as totalitarianism, brainwashing and oppression. Orwellian is an adjective describing a situation, idea or societal construct which George Orwell deemed as a threat to freedom and open society. 1984 has many connections to modern society, such as communist Russia in the Cold War and the NSA. 1984 has many parallels to a modern context, such as the NSA agency in America. In both contexts, the government surveillances the people and check if they're threats, and if they are eliminated. 1984 has another theme in it, of propaganda and brainwashing by the government. A theme present in George Orwell's life as he experienced World War II and part of the Cold War, and had a heavy hatred towards Soviet Union. So the government in 1984 uses lots of propaganda, such as the TVs that can only be dimmed and never turned off, and the posters everywhere. Similar to how posters were everywhere during World War II to recruit people and to make people hate Hitler or Nazis or British people for that matter, depending on who you are. This excerpt is from the first couple of pages of 1984, where the scene is set and the main character is introduced. In this extract, examples of Orwell's excellent description and ability to set tone are shown here, here, and here. This descriptive language and symbolism used by Orwell suggests the setting is a disgusting and vile place to live. Examples of the government controlling the public and changing information are shown here, here, and here. 1984 is also present in other texts such as The Pedestrian by Ray Bradbury, where there are not many police and only thought police, and also the TVs are used as propaganda quite a lot. 1984 is also similar to Pedestrian in the way that even the most simplest part of the human condition, such as love in 1984 and walking in The Pedestrian, are deemed criminal and punishable by the government. The novel 1984, written by George Orwell in 1949, is set in a dystopian future where everything you say, think and do is under surveillance by the government. I appreciate 1984 because it's still relevant in a modern context with organisations such as the NSA, phone tapping and checking your internet history, And also, it is very well written. Even the most simplistic of minds can read it because of George Orwell's style. Konnichiwa, ¿cómo está? Don saya de.